All right, everybody, this is about making presentations, and specifically in this particular case, I'm going to be talking about preparing to meet with a client or to present your ideas to faculty, to me, myself, or another faculty. I want this to be a way for you to prepare for a lot of these situations, even if it's for your future boss or whatever. The core of the idea is you must know the project that you are working on. You must understand what the client wants, what your boss wants, what your teacher wants, and also do the research and do the homework to understand references, historical figures, defined terms. You want to know what this is all about, what it is, and that takes time. That means you might be looking through online, looking at images. Maybe you're watching a movie. Maybe you're watching a cartoon. Maybe you're listening to a lecture. Maybe you go to the library and get books of art history. Whatever you have to do, it's an effort to understand where the client is coming from or what the project is, so that you have an ability to communicate your ideas, to talk about it, to talk to the client, so that you have a background on the topic, whether it's a style, whether it's a genre, whether it is a technique or a method. You need to understand it. Now, I know that you're going to be coming into a lot of things that you've never done before. That's why you have to educate yourself to understand the project, so that when you can sit down face to face or make a presentation, you have a basic or pretty good understanding of what's out there, what's been done, who's doing it other than the person that you're talking with, and then you can build on other people's work. Say, okay, this is what you're looking for, but this person did it this way and this person did it that way, and here's an idea that I had blending some of these things. And you can communicate. You bring something new to the table, you have a discussion, you can compare. You're not in the dark just sitting there going, I don't know what anyone's talking about. You've got to raise to the level where they're at and understand what they're talking about. So when you come to class, you need to show that you have been putting in the time. Whether you're in my semester, my fall or spring, where you have 16 hours a week, or you're in summer where you have 30 hours, you need to show that you've been working. I'm not there prodding you, pushing you every single day. No one's meticulously saying, well, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? You have to manage this. It's obvious when someone comes to class or to a presentation or to a meeting unprepared. They don't know what anyone's talking about. They don't have any reference materials. They have not thought about anything, and they sit there and they can't contribute much at all to the conversation. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to be prepared. I want you to have conversations. I want you to have ideas. I want you to meet people where they are and say, oh yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. I've seen that movie. I've seen that reference. I saw that. I understand. I know what you mean. Another thing is, a lot of students want to imply they have this great idea, but can't explain it, have no source of visual reference for it. So yeah, and then we're going to have this great big shot and the camera's going to move over here and we're going to look, and there's nothing for anyone to see, and it's like we're all just kind of making this up out of this imagination, where my imagination and your imagination can be completely different. I don't want that. I don't want to have to guess at what you mean. I want you to show me. You can have the greatest ideas in the world, but if you can't show it to me what you mean, then it's useless. I don't get it, you know? Don't tell me what you want to happen. Show me. You can say, okay, this is what I'm thinking, and then show me some sketches and some drawings. And I'm going to illustrate what I'm talking about, because this takes time. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for. Come prepared to class. Have a sketchbook. Have some form of media that we can look at. Now, we're in the digital age, so you can take your sketches and put them in a presentation of some sort, a PowerPoint. We're using Google Docs. I want it to be in the cloud. I don't want your computer to die and to say, oh, I've lost everything. I've worked all week. Yeah, I did. And then my computer died 10 minutes ago, and now I don't have anything. You know what? I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. You got to put stuff out there so we can have access to it. And the Google Drive is a great way to do that. Put stuff out there. I can have it, you can have it, it's always there, I didn't misplace my flash drive. Those are immature types of excuses that don't work anymore, okay? This isn't my dog ate my homework. This is you come prepared, you do the job, you do what's expected, and you go away successful, or you fail miserably in front of everybody and look like an idiot. And I don't want that to happen to you. All right? It's got to be something that you can use. Google Documents, Google Presentations, those are all super easy and really easy to do. And we can talk more about that in a little bit. I want you to provide enough concept work to illustrate your ideas clearly. Don't make your presentation so vague that the client is basically guessing at what he thinks you mean. And I just explained that. Don't get up there and basically have nothing to show, maybe a little scribble of something and say, okay, this box is a giant whatever in the middle of this vast desert. You know, we got to have more than that. I want to see more. I want to see a point of view from different angles. So okay, here's the basic layout of the land. Here's a sketch that kind of illustrates what I'm talking about. Here it is from another point of view. Here it is from the top, from the side, from the front, from the back, from this angle, from that angle, really close, really far, mixing things up. You can do that relatively easy, relatively quickly in a sketch. You know, whether you like to work digital in Photoshop, putting things out there, laying things out, changing things around, everything's in a different layer. You can do that easily these days, or you can thumbnail sketch stuff and get a very clear idea about what's going on. I don't want to be guessing at what you mean. I want you to explain and illustrate your ideas through your sketches, drawings. If you can't draw very well, then you need to learn to draw well enough to communicate. That is your job. Figure out what you need to do. Make representations of squares, boxes, stick figures. But you have to do something to show what you mean. Learn basic perspective techniques. It's not hard. You have a vanishing point. You have a horizon line. Things go to it. They move in parallax like railroad tracks to a vanishing point. You can figure that out. Watch a video, look at a book. It's not that hard, okay? Don't say, well, I just don't know how to draw. You can't, that doesn't work. Excuses like that don't work. This is a visual field. You must show what you mean. Build image galleries from screenshots taken from your source material. What does that mean? That means watch a movie, and while you're watching the movie, hit Shift screen or print screen and copy that into a Word document or into your Google documents. It's super easy to do. I also have image galleries that I've created. I'll show you what I mean. There's a link here. You go to my website, I have concept design galleries. These are image galleries that I've taken from movies while I'm watching them. Now, you don't have to set it up in a gallery like this, but it's very helpful if you want to show snapshots from movies that show concepts like layouts or design elements, scale, all kinds of things that I can scroll through and look at as reference, colors, lines, glows. I do it mostly for the layout of the scene. You know, how do they compose a scene? How do they show scale? How do they emphasize an element with contrast on light, on dark, colors like that? And so I also put like old references. This is old Tron footage versus new Tron footage. Another example are films like I Like the Secret of NIMH. So I took some sketches out of there. Foreground elements, background elements. You know, I love the background painting of this, where we have this element and then the implied background here with the different tones and values and where did they place the main character. Those things are very interesting. Again, backgrounds. Those are the things I'm interested in. Those strike me as interesting, so I want to capture that and use that as a reference. So I've made galleries. Horton Hears a Who. Another one where it's really fascinating rendering techniques. I love the opening sequence where they actually have type on, where they place their type within the actual frame. I thought that was pretty interesting. It was beautifully rendered, creative. It would fit really well within the scene. So I wanted to see and save that. Look at these compositions, 2/3, 1/3. How do they do it? Those kind of things were very interesting. I love this character, but look how they isolate different parts, have scale, and look how they put things in the lower third, and the magic, you know, the way they break the scene down in the lower third elements. So I have lots of these. You can also do it by putting it into a Google Doc. So for instance, I put it in a Google Doc. I can create one, and I can basically do a screen capture where I'm watching a movie, for instance. So let's say I'm watching a YouTube video of some source, and I can then do a screen capture. Let's say this is the screen that I'm watching, and this is lagging a little bit. All right, so let's say I'm watching Gerald McBoing and I want to print this screen. I'm going to hit Shift, Print Screen. I hope it works with this. I can go down and then I can select, this is a Google Doc, and if I hit Print, Control P, it'll take a second and it will print that. It's a little bit slow because I'm using all these things right now. If I right click on that image, I can go down to Crop Image. I can simply crop in the portion of the screen capture that I want, hit Enter, then scale up to meet my needs. It might move to another page. I'm going to hit Wrap Text, and then I can say, after I go down here, I can put some text underneath it. I'm going to go down below it. I might push this down into a new page. I think I might need to. So if I push this down a little bit, and say Figure 1, or well, I guess this is a figure, whatever it is, 3, interior. I might describe what it is that I'm doing, things that I like about it, some comments about it that I think might be worthwhile, the staircase, you know, whatever, you know, implied, the tone or the values, how they show depth, values for depth. Whatever notes that I want to put on there, I'll put on for each one of these images. So I'm going to push that down into a new page, and then I have my notes there. So I want to do that for each one. This helps me remember what I was thinking and why I chose that picture, and it also helps the client see some of these resources so they can see kind of what you're doing. So I'm going to do that for all movies, any resources that I have. Again, another thing I want you to be doing is, you know, capturing ideas at first. First, learn about the project, okay? So that you can have an intelligent conversation. Don't necessarily just dig in and try to solve a problem. First, understand what the project is about. What are the styles? What is the mood? What things did the director say he was looking for? Then as you're watching these movies or these references, you can, oh, okay, he said he wanted this, or he wanted that, or he wanted this particular mood, a dark scene, or a midnight shot, or a park scene. And say, oh, okay, this might meet. So you're kind of like kind of like a private investigator. You know, it's like you kind of know what you're looking for, and you want to know when you see it, when you're looking at all this other stuff. You might be watching something else, just a different cartoon, a different thing, maybe a billboard as you walk down the street. Oh, that's exactly what this director was looking for, and take a picture of it, and then you have it as a reference. But be aware of what you're looking for, okay? And seek it out. All right. Oops. Build your own image galleries. Okay. So once you have your basics here, once you have thoroughly studied your reference material, begin to process it in your sketchbooks. I think defining terms like, well, what is mid-century modern design? In this particular thing, the director said, I want mid-century modern. Well, if you don't know what that means, how do you know what he's looking for? So look it up. What is it? It's a design. It has a set of rules. It has an aesthetic that you must understand. Another link might just be pictures. These are just Google searches. All right. Another one. design poster designs. Okay? Get to know the definition of what you're looking for.